Yeah, so a sheep, yeah. Yes, very good. A sheep is gentle and a wolf is not. A wolf is violent. In sheep's clothing, it means I'm a violent or harmful person pretending to be someone peaceful or kind. It's an expression that actually comes from the Bible. It talks about be careful for these people. They pretend to be something gentle and kind, and really they're a wolf in sheep's clothing. So be careful with them. Okay, very good. And Caleb, how about a fine-toothed comb? You know what a comb is? Nobody uses combs. Yeah, what's a comb? C-O-M-B. Yeah, you use it to comb your hair with. So if you had hair, you use this plastic article, right? And if it's fine-toothed, what does that mean? Fine-toothed. Yes, very close together. The teeth of the comb, the individual pieces of plastic, are very close together. If we use a fine-tooth comb on something, it gets everything out. This comes from the days when it was common for people in their hair to have visitors, bugs, lice, pests, things like that. Back in the day when bathing was not very common, in order to get those pests out, you would use a fine-tooth comb, and you'd comb through your hair, and then you'd see all the unwelcome visitors in your comb, right? We don't really have that anymore, do we? I hope not. So if you go through something with a fine-tooth comb, it means you're going to find every single small thing about it. So I might say, Caleb, I want you to read this report, and I want you to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and see if you can find any errors. So you're not going to just casually read it. You're not just going to flip the pages. You're going to read every single word. You might even read it twice because you're going through it extremely carefully to find any small defect. That's what's called a fine-tooth comb. Okay, very good. And Vivian, have you got a bee in your bonnet? I don't even know the meaning of this one. I'm going to need help. Robert, get your thinking cap on. That's another clothing idiom, by the way. What is it to have a bee in your bonnet? Go ahead.
You have to know what a bonnet is first.
Yes?
The bonnet is head covering that women used to wear, at least in the South, where it was hot, out in the sun. It protects you from the sun, kind of had a hood over the top. And a bee, of course, stings a person. And if it got in the bonnet, you wouldn't know exactly where it is. You'd hear this buzzing sound, and you don't know where it is and how to deal with it.
Okay.
But it's something that demands attention right away. Okay. Bees like to fight.
Okay. So if you have a bee in your bonnet, how would you use that in this sentence then for that? Does it mean you're distracted or taken off course, or what does it mean? I got a bee.
Well, it's somebody that's always agitated about something.
Yeah.
Or gets
really
angry,
excited.
Yeah. Angry or upset very easily.
Very good.
That's being in our bonnet.
Yeah, very good. So overly emotional,
Yeah.
overreacting to everything. Got to be in your bonnet. I can see where that would make you react. And probably you wouldn't know what's making them react like that because you couldn't see the bee. So they're going crazy. Why are you going crazy? Oh, you've got a bee in your bonnet. Right? If you had a bee in your bonnet, you might do that.
There's a couple of other idioms very closely related to that. One has to do with clothing, the other doesn't. A burr under the saddle.
Okay, sure.
Saddle is the thing you put on a horse or a donkey to be able to ride it. And a burr would be like a stickery part of a plant. Sharp thorn. And of course, the rider doesn't notice it, but the poor horse certainly does.
Right. Yes.
And ants in your pants. That's clothing. And the same thing.
Very good.
Restless, agitated, kind of like a bee in the bonnet.
Never relax. Someone with ants in their pants is just overly excited, be in their
Moving
bonnet.
around all the time.
Yes. Yeah. And certainly the same way. You can't see the ants because they're inside the pants, but they'll make you react in some strange way, wouldn't they, when they're biting you? So you wonder what's wrong with that person. So very good. Those are great idioms. Okay. Nancy, we're going to have to roll up our sleeves on this next one. Yeah, we're going to have to roll up our sleeves. So let's see here. It's time. We've got a lot to do. It's time we rolled up our sleeves. So think about it. If I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt and when I roll up my sleeves, What do you suppose that means? It's busy, yeah, hardworking. I'm really ready to work now, so I'm prepared to work. So if I roll up my sleeves, it simply means I'm preparing myself. I'm ready to dive into work, okay? So we're busy, we have a lot to do, and we've prepared ourselves for that work. So I might say, we've got a test tomorrow, we better roll up our sleeves and get studying, okay? Get to work, okay? Very good. When? Do you ever wear your heart on your sleeve? Could be painful. How about if you wear your heart on your sleeve? We're not talking about the literal heart, we're talking about a figurative heart. And you wear it on your sleeve. You might say, don't worry about him. He's always getting his feelings hurt. He just wears his heart on his sleeve. So it's referring to someone who frequently has their feelings hurt. Very sensitive. Exactly. You think about it, the heart really belongs inside your chest. It's protected in there. You got nice ribs and protection and all that. If you took your heart out and put it on your sleeve, it's going to be easily damaged. Exactly. So what some people tend to do is they become very easily hurt. They might even go out of their way to get hurt. And so you could say some small thing, and they're offended. They think that you said something bad against them, and you say, oh, you just wear your heart on your sleeve. In other words, you're always ready to be offended or upset about something someone says. Probably should be more cautious, okay? Wear your heart on your sleeve. All right, very good. Yenna, what if you lose your shirt? I went to Las Vegas and I lost my shirt. Yes, so I'm in a poker game and I bet all my money. I bet my watch. Finally, I say, okay, how about this shirt? So if he lost his shirt, it means either in a business or a gambling venture, he lost everything. And this could be applied to, my uncle was in the stock market for a while until he lost his shirt. He lost everything, okay? You can do it in business or in gambling. You can lose your shirt, okay? Very good. Hola, I'm going to give you an example. Sometimes we don't have a good plan. We just fly by the seat of our pants. Sometimes we don't have a good plan. Instead, we just fly by the seat of our pants. What does it mean? Good plan and sit. Sit on your pants. It's not so good plan, but we have to do it, right? Yes. If you fly by the seat of your pants, you don't make any decisions ahead of time. You just react to things. The company I'm with right now, we like to fly by the seat of our pants. No, we don't. We're great. We do a good job. But yeah, sometimes there's careful planning and there's no planning. And if there's no planning, you're flying by the seat of your pants, okay? And it just means from minute to minute, you don't know what you're going to do. You simply react to the circumstances quickly. You fly by the seat of your pants.
It quite often involves something where something happens suddenly. You must react, but you don't have any time really to think about, well, now what should I do now?
So I suppose the opposite would be to use the brain to make a plan. The opposite is you fly by the seat of your pants. There's not very many brains in the seat of my pants. I don't know about yours. So what you're doing is simply moving. You're reacting to the circumstances at hand. You're flying by the seat of your pants. Okay, Sonny, it fit like a glove. What does it mean if it fit like a glove?
It fit like a glove.
Yeah.
Fit like a glove. It's similar to the fit like a glove.
Maybe. Fit like a glove would be something that fit perfectly. Okay? So a glove, if you think about it, it conforms right to the hand and it shapes exactly around. Now, knit wouldn't. The knit would not conform exactly. If something fit like a glove, it fit perfectly. It was as though it was made for you. So Sonny went into the store. He took a look at the blazer. He put on a 42 long, and it fit like a glove. It was as though the tailor had come and made it exactly for you. It fit like a glove. Fit perfectly. Okay? And we've already talked to Amy about filling her shoes or their shoes. We already talked about rolling up our sleeves. Okay, the shoe is on the other foot, Amy. if I said to you, now the shoe is on the other foot, what does it tell you? What's the idea of that? What are you thinking about? Any idea? Another way? Sort of, but actually this has a lot to do with retribution. So if someone does something to hurt me, and I hurt them back, I say, now the shoe is on the other foot. In other words, now you know what it's like to feel what you've made me feel. That's a part of how we use it. It may not be the only way to do it, but it says, I had my turn in that experience, now you're having your turn in that experience. It could be a good thing, too. Could be last week you were honored as the top student, now the shoe's on the other foot. But generally, I think it means a negative coming back towards you.
I on I.
Yeah, eye for an eye. I think it might be. It has something to do with this idea of if you have hurt someone, now you are feeling the same thing that they felt when you hurt them. The shoe's on the other foot. Yes?
I heard another expression, put your feet in my shoes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Walk in my shoes or walk a mile in my shoes. There's a Native American saying that you never know a man until you walk a mile in his moccasins, right? So that idea is you're voluntarily attempting to experience what that person experiences. And the idea is don't judge that person because you don't know what they've been through. So that's where that expression comes from. It's a great idea. Okay, very good. And you know what? I think we're done. I don't see any more. I think we've got all of them done. Any questions or comments on anything we missed? Or any other clothing idioms that anybody can think of? Can you think of anything? Anybody? Okay, very good. We're going to have to skip the next exercise. We'll do this next week. And the next is a listening exercise. So just get ready to listen. And because we've got about 8 minutes left, and Cheryl and I will do a listening exercise. Okay. Tonight in our opening talk, we discussed clothing. Some of us really enjoy shopping for clothes, and some of us hate it. But we all wear clothes. It's common and expected part of normal modern life to wear clothing and to have clothing. We're all aware that fashions in clothing change from time to time and place to place. I've always found it interesting how a style can change over time from formal to casual and sometimes back again. I can still remember my father who was shocked that the style when I was in high school, we bought jeans and they were pre-washed and pre-faded. They weren't the dark blue like he was used to. They were done that way for extra comfort. And he thought that when a pair of jeans became faded, you should throw them out and get a new pair. So that was an idea of how that style had changed. I don't know if he was alive when we had the fashion of jeans that have holes in them. But now the fashion is anybody wearing any today? Roger, you got anything? You have some pre-torn jeans? Yeah, so my dad would have been horrified at the fashion of torn jeans. He would say, oh, no, we can't do that. So, but we think about the first time we saw that, we thought, well, that's a new fashion. I'm not familiar with that. But it became the fashion and became a trend. Early Western travelers who went to the East, it's interesting, this came from Wikipedia, whether they went to Persia or Turkey or India or China, would frequently remark on how slowly fashions changed. They said that the fashions stay from one generation to the next, whereas in the Western world, fashion was changing more quickly. Every generation had their own fashion, and their parents said, oh, I don't like that. The Japanese shogun's secretary bragged, not completely accurately, that to a Spanish visitor back in 1609, that Japanese clothing had not changed in over 1,000 years. So about 1609, he says, this is the same clothing we've had for about 1,000 years. In Western society, not so. Modern Westerners do have a wide number of choices available in the selection of their clothes. What a person chooses to wear can reflect on your personality or your interests. When people who have a high cultural status begin to wear new or different clothing, a fashion trend may start. I've always wondered, where does it come from? Well, somebody famous and well-known starts wearing something, and then other people may follow that fashion trend. I'm well-known for starting many fashion trends. Everyone's looking, what is Roger going to wear? For example, I'm wearing socks today. How many wore socks? You guys socks? See? Because of me, right? You no, that may not be a good example. People who like or respect these people are influenced by their personal style when they begin wearing clothing to look like them. Fashions may vary considerably within a society according to age, social class, generation, occupation, even geography over time to time. If an older person, here's an interesting phrase for you, if an older person dresses according to the fashions that young people use, he or she may look ridiculous in the eyes of both the young and the older people. The terms fashionista and fashion victim refer to someone who slavishly follows current fashions. I have no ideas of my own. I just look at the newspaper and I wear what everyone else is wearing, okay? So I think we all have our own personal style, but a fashionista or a fashion slave would be someone who just does exactly what everyone else does. While fashions come and go, what we like in a person is pretty much unchanged from generation to generation. The Bible stresses basic character qualities that we should have and likens them in Scripture for tonight to something we should put on. Much like we put on clothes, it's talking about putting on these character qualities just like you put on a pair of clothes. And Cheryl will read from the Scripture.
Colossians 3:12. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we have some multiple choice questions to see how you listen. And I don't remember where we left off. Shuhei, number 1.
Conception the rules of clothing fashion situations the most present.
Historically, looking at over time, where have clothing fashions changed the most frequently?
In Japan, B, Kentucky, C, in the Western world, or D, Turkey. A.
Yes, 1,000 years, we wore the same clothing. I hope they washed them. Okay, what do you think? C, in the Western world, yeah, fashions have changed more quickly in the Western world than they have in other places. Kentucky, I'm not sure, is very famous for fashions changing, but it's a good answer. Caleb, how about the second one?
What is the way the article describes that fashion can change? A. An unknown person often will start a new fashion trend. B. A person of high stature may be imitated and begin a new fashion. C. Certain types of clothing material may become scarce,
Scarce? Yeah.
driving down price. Usually people try to imitate their ESL teacher. B. B, yeah.
Here's a good answer. A person of high status, someone famous or wealthy, or both, may be imitated and begin a new fashion. Yeah, I'm going to wear my hair like Donald Trump. All right, very good. Vivian, how about number 3?
What is a fashionista?
Okay, let's all say that word together. Fashionista.
Fashionista.
Okay, it looks like an Italian word. You know, have you heard of a coffee? Who's the coffee guy? Barista? Somebody who makes coffee? Barista. Fashionista. Okay. So yeah. Okay. What is a fashionista?
A. Somebody who brings both delicious coffee. B. An
Advocate.
or follower of fashion.
Fascism. Yeah.
C. Somebody who lavishly styles Western fashion.
Correct. Fascism. Yeah, present day.
D. Somebody who never changes clothes they wear.
What is a fashionista? She is right. Slavishly, meaning without any mind of your own, follows current fashions. Okay? And Nancy, how about number 4?
Number 4. What does the Bible suggest we put on? A. Bible. B. Camp clothes. C. A feather in our cap. D. Good character qualities like patience, empathy, and temperance.
Some passion.
Compassion.
Yeah, very good. You know that word.
D.
We use the right answer and suggest we put on good character qualities. They never go out of style either. Okay? Very good. Thank you, everybody. Good job. Make sure you get a birthday cookie. We brought some birthday cookies. And next week, I'll bring the T, D, or ED. At the end of the word, we want to know whether we add a T sound, or a D sound, or an ID sound. So, for example, started or reached. Started, you add ID, and reached, you just add the T sound. And we'll do that next week, so you can be ready for that.
You
So,
won't be
thanks
here,
very
will
much.
you?
They're gonna be here.
You know, good. Can we turn it
You'll be
backwards like my phone?
Yeah, I think so. I think
No,
we're gonna switch to Skype.
Skype.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to seeing you.
I know that's the.
You'll be tired. You'll be jet lagged.
Yeah.
So we forgot to do something though. What did we forget to do today?
What?
Sing.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Now, can we do that in
Thanks
Chinese?
for all that.
Mandarin?
Mandarin?
Oh,
祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。All right. Oh, that's right.